When I was getting a new aquarium, I put my fish into plastic bags of water to hold them while I set up the new tank. My mother panicked and started punching holes in the bags with a pencil. When I asked her what in the good God she was doing, she came back with, "I'm putting air holes in the bag so your fish don't suffocate." Come on, hell Jack, use your head. Nothing I said could convince her she wasn't the hero of this tale. If you have sex with a pregnant girl, you can change the biological dad to you. We went to a prestigious school and he wasn't dumb. Everyone looked at him like an idiot. My friend thinks that hibernation is a hoax because she's seen pictures of bears in the snow. The first picture she showed me was of a polar bear. I was in a college class and we were talking about agriculture. Me being from a farming town, I was explaining how important certain aspects of farming are interesting and super important. This one student was not budging and she was refusing whatever I was saying. I asked her why she was so against farming, and she said, "I think we should get rid of all of them. We don't need them." I asked her if she liked to eat and she said we would be fine. We could just get food from the stores. I asked her how she planned on getting that food into the store. She responded with, "Well, they already make all the food in the store as it is, right? Why do we need farms? They're stealing money from our local businesses." So in a nutshell, she thought everything, flowers, fish, chicken, loaf bread, and like everything was made in the stores, and that's why we don't need farms. I met a girl who tried to warn me about drinking water that had been boiled, because she said it boiled away the hydration and you'd still die of thirst if you just drank that. My younger cousin boy in Bangladesh got bitten a monkey somehow. My uncle, not the cousin's dad, genuine was worried that would make him pregnant. Some weird old ancient folk tale. He genuinely believed it. I can't even with that amount of stupidity. I drive for Uber on the weekends, and one time a girl who was in her late 20s told me that I was making her uncomfortable. I haven't said a word the whole trip, so I asked how I could make the situation better. She said she didn't like how I kept playing with the fidget stick in the middle of my car. I drive a manual. She then told me that I didn't need to use that because her car didn't have that and claimed to be a mechanic. If I could find a country that didn't take immigrants in, I'd move there. -0 equals infinite. Some kid in a Discord server was trying to prove that the negative of 0 was infinite. It was 24 people trying to tell him that 0 was neither positive or negative, and that still didn't satisfy him. His main pieces of evidence was everyone said Einstein was a madman until he proved them wrong. Y'all watch out, I'm going to change this world. He was banned 2 days later for being underage. In my dad's high school sex education class, the topic of rape and sexual abuse came up when they discussed unwanted pregnancies. One girl raised her hand and said, "My mom is a nurse practitioner and she says that women have this thing with their bodies where they can reject sperm when they're being assaulted. So women who get pregnant from rape weren't really raped." My dad told me, "You know, hitting women is never right," but I wanted to slap that girl so hard. I was having a regular conversation with a Floridian Lyft driver woman. We got onto the subject of traveling, and I mentioned a trip I took to the Grand Canyon. After a minute or so she says, "Did them Indians ever tell you how long it took for them to carve that thing out?" Me with a baffled look, no. I then proceed to sit in silence the remaining 45 minutes of that drive. A girls in math class didn't understand fractions. We got down to this because the teacher was explaining something else pretty simple that she didn't understand. So broke it down and figured out she didn't get fractions. Well, that's a little odd, but with a minute of explanation she should get it. Nope. Teacher asked what is larger, 1/2 or 1/3. The girl said 3 is more than 2, so 1/3 is larger. Teacher drew 2 circles on the board, divided one in 2 and the other in 3 parts. Which is bigger? Girl gave the same answer. Teacher erased both circles, grabbed 2 pieces of paper, ripped one in half, one in thirds. Held up a piece of both. Which one is larger? Girl pointed out the 1/3 piece. Forget that there are more pieces, and he binned the rest, holding up the initial 2 pieces again. Just look at the size. Which one is larger? Girl pointed out the smaller one again. Defeated, teacher lowered his arms and walked back to his desk. Please take no offense in this, but are you familiar with the words and concepts of smaller and larger? He asked, as this class turned more Sesame Streety by the second. The girl said she did. Teacher pointed outside. See those trees? Which is larger, right or left? Left, girl said, and she was right. The left tree was about 5 meters taller. Then which piece of paper is larger? Holding them up again. Girl pointed out the smaller piece and the teacher walked out of the classroom.